Hey Run Junkies, welcome to Runners Without Limits TV, where I basically run in one kind of shoe. Different colors, but the same brand and model. Recently, I've been compelled to try a new type of shoe, completely different than what I'm used to, and that is the Saucony Endorphin Speed. Today, I'm going to break down the features of this shoe and what I think. Now, I've never been one to wear more than one model of shoe at a time, mostly because I do a lot of base building. I run at slow, easy paces for most of my running. I run primarily for overall fitness and mental health. I do occasionally push myself in performance gains and improve my running efficiency. Therefore, I usually reach for a shoe that fits my running style, something that runs like me, slow and in a straight line. Before I get into this review, I purchased these shoes from Roadrunner Sports online, and I did not receive any compensation from Roadrunner Sports for Saucony, and I am not an ambassador for either. So this whole video is just my honest thoughts and impressions. So why did I reach for the Saucony Endorphin Speed? I wanted to see what difference it made on speed and form using a speed-built shoe. I've heard a lot of runners rave about it, and it was recommended to me by some friends and clients of mine. So I want to give you some stats, but I want to stack up the Saucony Endorphin Speed to the Brooks Adrenaline GTX 20. This is my go-to endurance shoe. Now, I haven't tried the GTX 21, and this may seem like apples to oranges a little bit, but I want you to see why this shoe is so different for me compared to the one I usually reach for. Now, the Saucony Endurance Speed is a neutral shoe, meaning that this shoe has even support from front to back and side to side, as opposed to the Adrenaline, which is a stability shoe. There's more arch support in the Adrenaline, which is designed for runners like me, whose feet roll in or overpronate. The offset or drop from the heel to the lowest part of the shoe on the Saucony Endorphin Speed is 8 millimeters, as opposed to the Brooks Adrenaline, which is 12 millimeters. So 4 millimeters may not seem like a lot, but it certainly makes a difference when you've been used to running in one type of shoe. The weight for the Saucony Endorphin Speed for a women's size 8 is 6.8 ounces, and the Brooks Adrenaline for the same size is 9.4 ounces. Again, that is a pretty dramatic difference in weight. So I hope that shows you a little bit of the contrast between the shoe that I do 80% of my runs in and this new shoe, and it's going to give you a little perspective as to why I have the impressions that I do about this shoe. Now, the upper is constructed of a very lightweight, breathable mesh, very comfortable, very cool. The heel cup, my heel stays put in this heel cup very well. It locks everything in place and provides a little bit more stability. And I found the toe box a little bit snug toward the end of my runs, but I think that's more of an issue of lacing. It actually is a very roomy toe box. The midsole is constructed of 3 main features. Power Run cushioning, which is a lightweight foam for ultralight energy and maximum bounce. Speed Roll Energy, which is a rocker mechanism which propels you forward faster, and a responsive nylon plate for versatile power transfer. So in a nutshell, what that means is that this is a more cushioned shoe that makes running faster easier. Now, what's interesting is that you can't tell on this colorway, but the bottom of this shoe, and I will show you a different colorway here so you can see the difference. The rubber is all the way around the outside, but it's kind of exposed in the middle here with that cushioning technology. Now, I want to contrast the bottom of this shoe with the Brooks Adrenaline. When you have the rubber around the outside and under the ball and toes of the feet, this is rubber from front to back. The Endorphin has a bare bones rubber sole, which I really think attributes to the lighter weight. Now, real quick about me as a runner. I don't review shoes very often because I have been running almost exclusively in the Brooks Adrenaline 19s and 20s for the last 2 years. My running is almost entirely base building. I do a lot of long, slow distance runs, super low heart rate, very slow speeds, with just a little bit of speed work in there in the terms of pickups and accelerators, maybe a few surges. And only recently have I been working on tougher and longer speed sessions. Now, another reason why I want to do this review is that I'm not a guy. Now, I say this because there's a massive shortage of female shoe reviewers out there, especially for the Saucony Endorphin Speed. In fact, as I did a YouTube search for reviews on this shoe, the top 10 results yielded all men except for one run like Heller, and she does a lot of great shoe reviews. You can check her out right here. I highly recommend her channel. Now, the reason this is important is because men and women's biomechanics are different. We have different needs when it comes to our running, which is also why you have different models for men and women. They are going to be slightly different. Guys, I want you to understand, there's nothing wrong with what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. But ladies, I think it's important for us to have reviews for women by women. Now, because most of my running is base building, I've only used this shoe a handful of times because so much of that running in the base building is done on this shoe. But recently I've added some tempo runs and surges and even a threshold test, and that's when I will reach for this shoe. I will probably reach for this shoe when I have races coming up, whenever those come back. And even for some of those faster speed workouts, I'm still warming up and cooling down and doing some sections of those runs in those slower zones, slower paces. And that's when I start to feel this shoe get kind of squirrely under my feet. Basically, it feels like it's going to slip out from under me in any direction at any given moment when I'm running at those slower speeds. But on those faster segments, this shoe likes to go. I can just feel my stride lock in place. This shoe wants to fly. It's built to fly. That rocker technology just keeps pushing me forward, and it really feels good to run at those faster paces in this shoe. So it's not that I feel so much that the shoe is doing the work for me, rather than I just have the right tool for the job. So really what I'm saying about this shoe is that it feels good to run fast in it, and it makes me want to do more speed work. They are comfortable, they are lightweight, and they seem to do what Saucony claims that they do, and that is make running faster, easier, more efficient, with less fatigue. So real quick, I want to run through the pros and cons of this shoe, and then I'm going to wrap it up. The pros of this shoe: it's a lightweight technology and it keeps your feet moving faster. The nylon plate really does allow for that push forward and a more efficient stride at speed. Now the downsides, the lack of medial post means that my feet roll in a bit more. It is not a stability shoe, so I would like to see a midsole that provides stability at speed. The Saucony Endorphin Speed is not meant for all-around running for someone who really needs this stability shoe. This is not meant to be run all of your runs all the time. Save it for those speed days and races. This shoe retails for $159.95 on Road Runner Sports and in other retail locations. The bottom line is that the Saucony Endorphin Speed is a great shoe to reach for and to have in rotation when you do have speed work on your training plan, but I would save it for the speed work and races and reach for something else, a more stability type shoe if you need it for those easy run days. So what do you think? Have you tried the Saucony Endorphin Speed? And if so, what did you think? Please leave thoughts, questions, comments, and suggestions for future videos in the comments section down below. But that's gonna be it for me today, you guys. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, tell your friends. Also, if you want to see a couple of videos I did about 100 years ago about how to select the right shoe and go through that whole process, these two videos right here will get you there. Guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Until then, remember, you have no limits. Happy running.